you are, dear.
Okay. Hello, I'm Sarah, and my major claim is raising gas prices will make California healthier economically and environmentally. First, I will go through that high gas prices protect the environment and natural resources. Second, I will speak on how gas prices help our national and online economy. And then third, I will go over how high gas helps local economy and the community itself. First of all, going back on the environment and natural resources. People drive less with gasoline-powered cars and cause less pollution. This is good information to know that because vehicles are responsible for 51% of carbon emissions, followed by appliances, which is around 26%, and then heating, cooling, and waste, which are about around 22%, according to Environmental Protection Agency. Vehicles release over 1.7 billion tons of CO2 into the atmosphere each year, contributing to global climate change. Each gallon of gasoline burned creates 20 pounds of CO2 and 6 to 9 tons of CO2 each year for every vehicle that's on the road. With people driving less, it'll cut these costs drastically, and it helps keep pollution out of the air. This is also good to protect the environment because it also promotes people to look for alternative renewable resources for fuel and stuff, which can include ethanol, biodiesel, natural gas, propane, hydrogen, and hydrogen fuel cells. The air becomes cleaner and less pollution ends up in the water when it rains, which would deal with acid rain and stuff like that. Second, high gas prices helps our national and online economy. The demand for alternative renewable fuel rises and reduces dependency on imported oil. 57% of our oil is imported, which means we are giving our money to other countries. Most of the world's oil reserves are in the Middle East, and about 2/3 are controlled by OPEC members. This is according to the governmental information. Oil prices and price manipulation have been mostly controlled by OPEC, and it has cost our economy quite a bit, about $1.9 trillion from 2004 to 2008. And each major shock was followed by a recession, which means that we are now basing our economy on how the stableness of our oil economy and national economy is based on these outsourced places. High gas helps local economy and our community. This is my third one. People won't drive as far. Instead of going to large malls or shopping areas, they turn to local markets such as farmers markets and local businesses. It's according to USA Today, cities that offers homes, condos, and apartments within walking or biking distance of employment, school, shopping, and other cultural stuff are seeing increased interest in compared to suburbs where it's really, really far to get to. Also, USA Today also said that people drive slower and to conserve fuel and others, and to maximize their fuel consumption, which has also led to less highway deaths since October 2007, when the oil prices started to rise. People look for alternatives, which would include biking, walking, and other recreational activities, which is good because it also keeps people healthier and in shape. And the less pollution from driving helps asthmatics and others with sensitive health. In California alone, we harbor the dirtiest air in the nation, according to the EPA. It is estimated that 19,000 people die prematurely each year from pollution from ozone and particulates. Of those, about 6,500 are from the nearby Los Angeles area. EPA claims that ozone can damage lung tissue and makes it difficult for people to breathe. Local businesses receives more business and can expand, creating more local jobs. Online, and if they have websites, their online business increases. People would like to shop at home more. Nearly half of all U.S. consumers are reducing their spending in order to shop online. This is to save gas and stuff. And more jobs locally lessens the local unemployment rate and raises the standard of living, which is good, since it can lead to a higher value in real estate in the area and making it more desirable to live in, which brings more people in. And that's why raising gas prices makes California healthier environmentally and economically.
Sorry, Mom. Go figure.
All right. The proposition's identified. It's got two parts at the end. You need a covering term instead of having the two supporting issues in the proposition. Your secondary points in the preview, they're all phrased as expository rather than declarative claims. So you want to make sure that you're telling us what your position is on those things. You make it sound like, I'm going to show you how this works. It sounds like an informative speech as opposed to, here's what happens when this occurs. That's the declarative version of the statement. The signposting is pretty clear as you go through the speech, so the structure is easy to follow. The biggest assumption that I think you need to work on in the argument is the demonstration that increasing prices actually decrease driving and the utilization of cars. You're operating on the notion that driving is, for instance, that there's either excess driving or that driving is largely dependent on the costs of driving. For instance, if you had some data that showed bus ridership went up when gas prices go up, the closest you come to that is this reference to 2007 where people slowed down a little bit when they were driving because the prices were going up. But that doesn't say that they stopped driving. And for instance, for a lot of people, their driving may be inelastic. They're not driving on their vacations. They're driving back and forth to work. In essence, if they could stop going to work, then I guess that would be a good thing for the environment, but not necessarily a good thing for the economy. So you've got to be careful about that. On the third point, I think that there are also a lot of presuppositions. For instance, if online shopping is available now, and it's not going to cost any gas, why is it superior when the gas prices go up? Why would people use it more if currently they could save money with online availability? It just seems to be a presupposition that people are driven in their actions and behaviors by the price of gas. I think they're driven to complain about it. I'm not sure that they're driven to change their behavior. And that's the key link in your chain of argument, because everything's dependent on that people alter their behavior when the price of gasoline goes up. And I think that there are plenty of arguments to be made that they alter their behavior in a lot of ways, but they don't necessarily alter their behavior in regard to driving. So if prices go up, they cut their cable service and keep driving. If prices go up, they eat out less often but continue driving. Those would be, and that's the argument that you need to have in order for everything else to fall into place. And that's the weakest part of the argument. All right, thank you.